Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my Client Spotlight series. I have a super special guest with me today. This is my client, Adriene. She's a certified weight loss coach for women who want to lose the last 15 pounds and have a sustainable lifestyle. And I am so excited to share her story with you because truly, her story inspires me so much to make big investments in my life, to make decisions for my future, and to know that anything is possible. You are gonna literally, your jaw is gonna like drop to the ground when you listen her amazing story. What is up, Adriene? How are you? Thank you so much for being here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
You were watching one of these at some point, right? Before
Yes.
we worked together.
Yes.
Isn't that like such a fun, like full circle?
It is. I love it.
Full circle moment. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you guys, as you're joining in, say what's up. Let me know that you can hear me because sometimes I have problems with my audio. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. I love to give you a shout out. So while I bring that up, I want to open it up for any questions you guys may have, because today what we're going to be talking about is where Adriene was at before we started working together and how scary it was for her to make an investment in joining my mastermind. And I want you guys to listen for her mindset behind it and her way of making decisions, which was super powerful. And I think we can all take a big lesson on courage and on just sourcing your vision and like making decisions from the future. So if you guys have any questions about making decisions, drop them in the comments as we're opening up this conversation. Hey Giselle, hey April, hey Emily, how are you? So good. April and Emily joined the mastermind, so I'm super excited to have you ladies. Okay, so let's start with your story, Adriene. So where were you at before we started working together? And we're gonna kind of like tell people why joining this mastermind was like so scary. We're gonna tell you all of the details of it, but tell us a little bit about where you were at before working together, what you had tried before. Tell us everything.
Okay, so before we started working together, I have actually been a fitness coach for 4 years at this point.
Okay.
And, it was really frustrating because I was investing in other coaches. I've probably spent well over $15,000 on other coaches, programs, all that stuff. So it's not like I wasn't trying. It's just everything I was doing wasn't working due to that was the part I couldn't figure out. I kept feeling like I was missing something. And I know that's what I told you on our first call. Anyways, it got to a point where I had to stop doing coaching full time because it wasn't helping me anymore as far as the bank account goes. I had to go back into what I went to school for, which was teaching. So, and I am still working full-time as a teacher. Obviously, it's remote now, but because I took that before I started working with you back in January.
Right.
So I felt like I was the person doing all of the things, investing in all the coaches, but just nothing was working. And I constantly felt like I was missing something. So that's definitely where I was at before. So I don't know how deep you want me to get into that.
That's fine. Okay. And so you have a job right now that you took up in January to get you for that moment because you started working with me like 3 months ago. So you already had that job, and are you quitting that job in the next few months?
Yeah, so it'll end in June, and as of right now, I don't have to go back to it in August, which I'm very excited about.
Yes!
So, yes.
Okay, so you were trying all these things for years. You were at it. I remember when we had our call, and this is for everyone, I want you guys to know this. Adriene came to me and she's like, I've been trying all of the things, and I don't know why it's not working. But she wasn't a victim. She was like, I'm willing to try one more thing. Like, I know that this is something that I want, and I'm willing to do something different. And on the call, I want you, Adriene, to take us back. Like, how did you feel when I share with you, I have a mastermind, and you were like, okay, this is exactly what I need. You were like, I want to go all in, but then you're like, I only have, how much did you have in your bank account?
I had literally $300 in my bank account. Literally. I'm not making that up.
She only had $300 in her bank account.
Yeah.
And how was it for you in that moment when when I just want to tell everyone actually that what I picked up from you wasn't the vibe of like, oh, I only have $300, therefore I can make it. You're like, I want to go all in. I only have $300 though. How do we like?
Yeah,
what now?
I knew as I was talking to you that you were. I respected you from like the first 3 seconds we were on that phone call, and I just knew that this was going to be a high level investment based on how you were just treating me in that phone call and how I felt, and I felt very empowered within the first few minutes. So I knew it was going to be, so I was secretly scared the entire time on the phone call for that number to come out.
Yeah.
And I was dreading it, but like to a point where not that I was embarrassed that I only had that much amount of money, but I wanted to work with you so bad that I was scared that you were going to tell me no based on the fact that I only had that amount and that you didn't have the faith in me to come up with the payment. So like that's what I was more scared about, but I knew I wanted this. I was more than willing to do something, one last thing with somebody who I could fully trust and who I felt gets great results. So yeah.
Oh my God. I just love this conversation so much because I just appreciate your vulnerability and sharing this. I know that this is not everybody would be open to sharing this. And your courage always just blows me away. So isn't that interesting, you guys, that when we are in a sales call, like as coaches, if you've ever been in a sales call, probably you're like, oh my God, can they afford it? Can they afford it? And you're sitting there thinking like they're not going to want to say yes. But on the other side, you don't ever know what the other person is thinking. And in this case, Adriene had only $300 in her bank account. And she's like, oh my God, I hope she says yes. So I hope that like you want it to be in, right? I could have made the assumption of like, no, I don't think she's going to want it. She only has $300 in her bank account, or I don't think she's going to make it. And I could have taken away your power simply by saying, well, I think that she's gonna, like, you know, don't worry, if you don't have any money, no worries, bye, like, you know, maybe next time. And this is so important because so many people make the assumption that just because you have this number in your bank account, it defines your desire or your capability. And my belief is like, I always believe in all of my clients. If I know I can help them, I believe fully that they can create miracles. I believe fully that they can create results, even on a call, on a sales call. Like just because you have $300 in your bank account, I don't care. Like, okay, are you willing to make to have some conversations? Like how badly do you really want it, right? To really change your circumstances. And so it's important for all of you to really recognize that people want to get help, right? They're going to get resourceful. They're going to get empowered if you believe in them. But if you immediately take away the power from them, then they're not going to have a chance, right? So I really invite you to make money not a factor in the ability for people to get a transformation with you. So what did we do in that call, Adriene? Tell me.
So we set up a plan for me to make payments. You said I am willing to do that, and I was so excited. I was so excited that I got to work with you and continue to get to work with you. And it was actually really empowering for me because it forced me to look at things that I needed to deal with in just my life in general. One of the things was that I was really good at avoiding things and avoiding problems. Yes. And that's something that came up a lot, especially with paying you my first payment. I was like scared to pay you. And then I remember one of the payments I made to you, I finally felt confident in doing it. It was the first time ever I was making a payment for something where I was happy to do it, and I didn't have an issue. I wasn't shaking for once. So it really forced me to become more, I can't think of the word, but like it forced me to fix other issues that I had going on, not just my business either.
Yes.
So
Because
it was very, very empowering.
Yes, because everything that comes up for us in life is just a reflection of how that's showing up in other areas. So if we are avoidant in our relationships, that's going to show up in our money. So any time we get to make a decision, however we show up in the decision making process is how we're showing up in other areas of life. So I want you guys to really reflect on that. It's really important so that you can really look at like, oh, if I'm afraid to really make some kind of investment in my business, how am I afraid? What am I avoiding, or how is that showing up in other areas of my life? We're just using the example of the investment because this is just a conversation we're having now, but you could have also taken this in like in a relationship context or in a health context or something like that, right? So one of the things that I want to share with all of you is that in that moment when Adriene said, I only have $300, but I really want to work with you, in that moment, there was a very different experience for me as the coach, right? Hearing her say, I want to work with you, but this is where I'm at. That is when you really know it's a money objection. It's like, I'm willing to give you the money, I just don't have it all right now. That is the only time you know there's actually an objection for money. If people are saying like, oh, all these other reasons, yeah, money, but they actually do have money, right? It's even if it's a little, right? They are committed to showing up and making it work. You can create like payment plans, you can create different things for them to actually create a transformation. But that is when I knew, I'm like, she's really committed because she is not just kind of pulling excuses. Therefore, I am committed to showing up for her as her coach and being flexible in creating something that might work for her and will work for me because I believe in her. Like I believed in her from the very beginning. And even though we had even shaky moments, like within the first month, she like felt, I don't know, you can tell everybody about this, Adriene, if you feel comfortable too. I know you feel comfortable because you've been telling people about it anyway, but you were like, oh, I don't know, like I haven't fully paid the full amount. So you kind of felt a little bit weird going into the program and participating on the calls. And we kind of coached on that and you overcame that, you know, like that fear, and then you showed up fully, and now you're having like $7,000 and you're overwhelmed with like people who want to reach out to you, which is insane. So I just kind of want to take people back in that moment. Like, how was it for you to have a coach that fully believed in you so that you could actually believe in yourself?
I don't really know how to explain it other than it is, I'm so grateful for you and just how you show up for your clients in general. Cause I really, and I could have made literally every excuse to not say yes to you. Cause I just started this new teaching job. I had like $300 in my bank account. My boyfriend deployed overseas. Like I had all the things happening, but I still said yes. And I was so scared and I didn't believe in myself. And I just had a lot of life happening at the same time. But to have somebody like you who you just like pour belief into people, and it just made me feel safe and it made me feel very good. And I trusted you in that moment. So, which is why I said yes. But then I felt terrible not giving you the full amount.
Right.
So I wasn't doing the program because I felt guilty.
Right.
And I felt so guilty.
Yes.
And you're like, no. And we coached on it. And you're like, this is not how you need to be showing up. And you literally just showed me how to have a different perspective on it. And it clicked for me. And I said, you know what? No, she's right. I'm going to be paying for this. I got resourceful on how to get the money to you the first month. After that, it was fine. First month, it was very iffy for me, though. And I felt guilty because I felt like I was taking advantage of the program when I wasn't holding up my end of the bargain. Yeah. But you told me, no, dive in and commit, and I did.
Totally. It's like this perception, it's like the brain, right? That like, this is an interesting response, right? Like our brain is like, oh, we're in. Oh, but now we have to, like, we're finding a way to feel bad about things. It's like, I don't have money, I feel bad about it. Or I'm in the program, but now I feel bad about it. It's so interesting. So it's so important for us as coaches, if you ever are in this situation with a client, for you to really notice and support the client to really see another different perspective. This is all that sales are. Sales are just about offering a different perspective, right? When people are struggling with making a decision, you acknowledge how they're feeling and also show them what's a different perspective that they may have about this that actually empowers them. Because being in fear in making a decision is just optional, right? It's one perspective. There's an infinite number of different ways to really look at it, and as coaches, that is our job to help our clients see the truth that also can actually serve them. And so for you, even when you were in the program, Adriene, you were feeling guilty, and I was able to help you see a different perspective that then empowered you to actually take action in the program. And so now let's actually fast forward a little bit and tell us a little bit about like what are some of the amazing results that you've been able to create.
So by the end of the program, I had my first over $5,000 month in the program, and I've been trying to get a $5,000 month for years, and that was something that was my big goal for the program as well. So I finally did that, and I'm very grateful for it. I actually brought you on as a client, which is
I'm a client now.
You're my client now, and my inbox is actually filled every day with people asking how to work with me. I am getting 10 times the engagement on all of my Instagram and Facebook posts because of the way you have taught us to write and to show up and create content, which is amazing. And I feel that I'm 10 times more confident as well in myself. And I feel that I actually own a business now, where I didn't feel like that before. And I'm just more confident in the way I show up and present, and I really enjoy what I do now, when before I was like, I think this is it for me. So
that's right. You were like, I don't know. I think like if this doesn't work, like I'm gonna quit it. You know, I just got a job. I think this is it, right? It's so, I'm just so freaking proud of you for believing in you, right? Like for really believing in you, because this is truly one of the things that it's just going to help anyone who's watching this elevate their belief. If you're already making 10K months, there's still a little bit more that you can believe in yourself. Even if you're like million, 2 million, whatever number you're at, there's a deeper level of belief that we can have. And as coaches, we have to have belief in our clients. If we know we can help somebody, right, it's so important for us to be a stand for them until the very end and be willing to even risk the relationship, to not be liked and not be like, oh, she was so nice. I could just go away and think about it, and then whatever, maybe in the future. I mean, sometimes I'm always in integrity with when I can help people or not. Like even in this launch, I told like 3 people, I don't think this is the right time for you, and I didn't make an offer. But when I believe people have the drive, they have the capability that I know that I can help them, I'm so going to make an offer, and I'm going to be a stand for them, and then they get to choose what's the best way. But it's so important for us as coaches to always have that belief in people and not take their power away because whatever, they have $300 in their bank account. Like, who cares? I don't care that you had that money. Like, of course you had that money because you didn't know how to do the things that I can help you how to do, and now you have all this other money in your bank account. Like, of course, duh. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think this is so powerful.
Yeah, and I think that it helps. I'm sure there's other great coaches out there, but the way that you support and pour belief into your clients, I think that really enhances the content that you provide as well. So I think that's what I was missing this whole time, was somebody like you to guide and lead me and the rest of us who are in the program as well. So yeah, no, I love you.
And so
you're crying.
I know. So you're joining the next round, right?
Yes,
this round coming up, right? And so why are you joining again?
So I felt that by the end of this past program, I was just getting to the point that I was wanting for myself, and now I want that continued support to continue to have the success I was having, and push further to where I want to be, because I started having all these revelations of bigger goals. And I was like, wait. I personally want to continue to have a coach. I enjoy having a coach. I like having someone to bounce ideas off of. Yep. And I think it makes me a better coach as well. So
good. So good.
So I'm excited.
I'm so excited. And you're going to be launching a group program, you said? Because you only have one spot left for your one-on-one.
Yes, I have one spot available for one-on-one coaching, and then I'm going to be launching the group program
So good.
in the next few weeks.
Yes.
So I'm
So,
excited.
so good. Okay. So one last thing. What would you say to somebody if they're watching this, let's just say in the next 3 months when I open up the program again? What would you say to somebody who's kind of like on the fence or who's been watching or who's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll apply for the next round? What would you say to them?
I would ask you to question why, first, definitely question why it is you're really on the fence and if it is that significant or not. But I had literally every excuse in the book that I could have said to you, but I know what I want for myself, and it isn't to be in a job working for somebody else telling me what to do. I want to be in control of my life. I want to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. And I know that entrepreneurship is the way to go. And so that is why I said yes, because I believed in what my vision for myself, and it feels great having someone like you to believe in that also. So if that is really what you want, then say yes, and don't ask your husband, the neighbor down the street, your psychic, whatever. If they don't, do you want it? Yes or no? If it's a yes, then make the decision and go for it.
Oh my God, you are killing me. This is so good. Why wouldn't you want to ask your husband? Tell me.
I mean, they're not the one controlling your business. So, and actually that's interesting that you say that. So I come from a position of where I felt like I always had a man taking care of me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want that for myself. I wanted to be independent in my thoughts and in my finances. And that was something that's really important to me. So I didn't have to go and ask my significant other for money because he's not the one building the business. If something happens, I can fall back on me. Yes. That's why it's my business. I'm in control of it. Yeah. I didn't want to ask somebody else for the money. So
good.
And yeah.
Oh, so good. I'm so proud of you. So good. So yes, everybody, I'm her client, by the way. I hired her as my health coach because I have scoliosis and I really want to strengthen my back and I want to get a super juicy booty even in quarantine. So that's actually one of the things that I wanted to also tell you all, that I made an investment in quarantine when most people are saying like, oh, health coaches or any other coaches, you know, other than money-making coaches cannot charge high premium. I paid Adriene in full. She took me through her sales process. I answered all the questions. She sent me the invoice. I really took it as if she was like my coach now. And I'm making this investment in myself even now, like especially now when I can't go to the gym and I still want to take care of my health. So just remember that any beliefs that you have about people not being able to invest right now are totally optional. Adriene, throughout all of this time, went from $200 in her bank account to now, I think all up, adding your income, all of your incomes, it's like $7,000. Now you know how to fill your programs, your one-on-one consistently. There is an endless amount of opportunities out there if you're really willing to look at it, you guys. So I'm super excited to work with you now as my coach and to continue you in my program. This is so fun.
Dual coaching. I love it.
So good. Alrighty. So where can people find you? And just for anyone who just tuned in the last couple of minutes, remind them like who you are and what you do so that they know, and then where can they connect with you?
Of course. So my name is Adriene, and I am a certified weight loss coach. I'm getting caught up on my words. I'm a certified weight loss coach, and I help women who want to lose that last 15 pounds. I help them lose that and create a sustainable lifestyle in the process. And the best place to find me is on Facebook. Yes. I believe you have my name tagged.
Yeah.
You can also follow me on Instagram, and that is AAADRIENE. It's my first name with 3 A's in front of it. And that's usually where I'm hanging out the most, both of those places.
So good. You're amazing. I love everything we've been doing together. Anyone who wants to get like just really work on their weight or in their business, I actually not in their business, in their health, but like, I don't need to lose weight. I actually need to like build muscle, so she can help me with that too because I don't need to lose any weight.
Yeah.
She's amazing, tailors all the exercises to you. I'm like seriously just so happy I did this. So anyway, just wanted to give you a shout out there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
So good. Alrighty, my love. Thank you so much for being here. And for everyone who's watching, thank you so much for joining. And I will see you guys in the next Client Spotlight series. Bye.
Bye.